What's up, everybody, and welcome to the other side of the Firewall podcast, where we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who have made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall, to those C-suite and senior level positions. My name is Ryan Williams, and as always, I am joined by Shannon Tynes
What's up? What's up?
and Levon Maynard.
How the hell are ya?
So we've had an action-packed show, or I should say, action-packed week this week with all these shows. So this show is also action-packed, right? So I think last week we talked about the Snyder Cut and all that good stuff, and I promised I was going to go see the Tenet because Tenet was being played, so I did that. Uh, so we'll talk about that a little bit, as well as some various video games and TV shows and all that good stuff. But this is the weekly recap, if you don't already know. So it's less IT focused, unless we're talking about studying, and more about just us living our ordinary lives and discussing it. So without further ado, how was everybody's week?
Mine was pretty good. I'm still living my week. I got the in-laws in town. My wife's parents are in town, so we're gonna be
Okay.
hanging out this weekend. Um, my wife is graduating from her course. I think I described it before. She's in school learning some Mandarin,
All right. All
and
right.
she's graduating from that program, which is pretty cool. And the parents are in town to kind of celebrate that. But besides that, I've been enjoying some TV shows. The what's been on the top of my charts right now? Uh, one shout out is I've been watching The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. First episode I didn't like as much. The second episode kind of like hooked me a little bit more. I think they
Okay. That's how they
starting to
get you.
starting to get a little hot. Yeah, yeah, they're
Yeah.
starting to spin it up a little bit. It's getting a little bit more interesting. First one's a little slow to me, but this one was really spicy. So I liked it. And
Okay.
then they got another one of my favorites, the anime My Hero Academia. It's coming out weekly now. It just came out premiere today on Hulu. So I'm gonna check that out later. And then as far as my games, I've been playing mostly Destiny 2, and then I was playing some Yakuza Zero. Getting
Okay.
my get my boy. Right now I'm at the part of the game where you're playing like a guy named Majima, and so I'm been working on that. It's pretty crazy game. I think they did a great job. I see why people like them. Uh, but it's all about the gangster Japanese yakuza,
Right.
yakuza gangs, and like some of the stuff they've been doing. But the guy's kind of like, he's one of those I don't know what you call like an anti-hero, or like he's a bad guy, but he's kind of, he's good at the same time. Obviously he's like he's in his gang, but he's still like looking out for people and like doing good things for others. But it's a pretty fun game. And then also we talked about the Snyder Cut last week, which was pretty good, or was really good. Um, what else is hot right now? Um, yeah, I think that's been the main stuff I've been into. I got to think a little bit more about some of the stuff I've been watching. I feel like I watched some more, but I can't think of it right now. But how about you guys? What you guys been doing this week? How's your week been?
So for me, I did do some studying. I'll put that out
Uh
there.
oh,
Hey, there it
there it is.
is.
I did.
Yay!
I
We need some like
did,
track music that plays like some like
yeah,
celebratory music that plays.
I did my sister studying. I didn't want to get things back. And look, based off that studying, I was like, I need to push my date back some more. Like I had to
Right.
push the date back. I was like, all right, I'm not as ready as I think I am, right? So I pushed it back again. But did some of that. I really have not been. I have not played video games at all this past week. Um, I don't know. Right now, because I have the studying that I'm doing. I'm like, I can't put the time into, you know, playing another game or whatever, and then doing some studying. Which the studying is boring me. I'm taking a lot more breaks than I'd like to. I'm like, all right, I got to get up and walk away from this for a second. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Right.
but um this week, I know I'm looking forward to Godzilla vs Kong that comes out Wednesday. I think it is at the
Mhm.
31st, right?
Okay.
Is that right? So I'm looking forward to that one on HBO Max. Uh, I really haven't been watching too much else of anything, right? Like my kids have been, you know, keeping me a little busy, taking them outside. The weather's kind of warming up. In Colorado, you'll get snow one day and then it will melt in the afternoon and then it'll be good weather the next day. So like the children just been playing and whatnot, and I've been making sure they don't hurt each other, my younger two, you know.
Right.
They're to the point, like they're far enough apart in age to where it's like if they want to, they can occupy themselves separately. But when they get together, it's just like, wow, you know what I mean? I'm like, you go over there and you go over there. Like,
Right.
but but yeah, no. When it comes to the other stuff, not so much of watching anything. Actually, you know what? No, I can't say that. I did watch the Winter Soldier. So the Falcon and Winter Soldier. See, Levon, I'm opposite from you. Like the
Oh, okay.
first episode, I was like, okay, that's not so bad. Because I know last week you were like, it was a little slow. I watched it, I was like, I didn't think that
You're
was
like,
that slow. The
yeah.
second one I just watched this morning. When I got up this morning, I watched, and I was like, that one was slower. You know what I mean? I mean,
Oh,
it's interesting, right? So like, I'm like, okay, I didn't know that was a thing, right? When they,
right.
I'm not doing any spoilers, but they end up going to Baltimore. Baltimore, yeah, Baltimore, and I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't realize that was a thing, that there was people like that out there. But so that was interesting to me. But for the most part, it was really just from what I can remember, it was just the one action scene, right? And I'm like, come on, man, like you Marvel, y'all got the money, like make it happen. Make them fly around. You know what I mean? There's an arm made out of vibranium. You know what I mean? Like make that do some stuff. You know what I mean? Like come on,
Yeah.
let's
Yeah.
make something happen. But yeah,
So
I'm kind of opposite of you. I thought the
I was
first
gonna
one
say,
was better than the second one.
let me fight you on this for a little bit. No,
Okay, yeah,
no, no.
yeah.
I just want to I want to get your take because so what I felt like in the first episode, without giving out too many spoilers, the way it started, I think I can say this that it started out with them like trying to like capture a plane. The plane got hijacked, and I didn't understand how the plane got hijacked with the people in it, and like if the other people flew to the plane while it was in the air and then like jumped on board somehow, or if they used whatever whatever device they used to get on the airplane. But it seemed kind of weird to me. And then like obviously they had to make a whole play. Obviously Falcon's big thing is he can fly, so they had to use that as a big scenario for him to like kind of swoop in there and like try to save the day.
That was a great action scene though,
It was
wasn't
it
it?
was
Like
it
it was
was
good.
it was okay to me. I feel like
But
I feel like the action scene in the second episode was a little bit better to me. Like when they're on the trucks and doing stuff. Um,
I
I thought that
disagree.
was a little bit hot. I don't know. I like that a little bit more. It felt a little bit more like realistic to me, or something like, actual like, I don't know, situation. I don't know. But that was
So you telling me you can't suspend disbelief. You can believe that people disappeared from the earth for 5 years, right? Through some holes. Like you have no problem with that. But when it comes to Falcon flying amongst helicopters and planes, you're like, I can't get down with that. You know what I mean? Like, come on,
right,
we
right.
gotta suspend disbelief
It's like it's
somewhere,
too
right?
much. It's too
Yeah,
much.
Too
I'm
much.
like,
It
I'm
just
like,
got fake there. I was believing everything until
ah.
everything was real. No, I don't know. Just I think the beginning, and then like I don't know, it was like slow. What he was doing, he's doing stuff in his hometown, and like trying to get stuff together. Uh, and then like even with the Winter Soldier, and he was, he went on a date in the first episode and stuff like that. It was kind of like I feel like the second episode when it was kind of getting more into the relationship between the two, talking about like why the Winter Soldier, has a little grudge against him, and like obviously this new character that's replaced that's currently has the
Yeah.
I don't even want to go too far, but yeah. So they got some guys, you know, and then they went to the one room and they're talking to each other, and then they had the little eye thing, and I was like, that just kind of like that was really entertaining to me. I just like enjoyed that interaction. I thought that was kind of fun, and
And see, that's what I want less of. That's what I
well,
want.
less of that. You just want the action. You just want all
I
action.
want,
That's why
That's
you
what I
don't
want
want any
less
kind of
of.
character development or like.
exactly. So here's the thing. What do I need character development for? I've watched all four Avengers movies. I've watched Civil War. I've watched Winter Soldier. Like I know who you are. You know what I mean? Like I don't need any of this extra stuff. Fly
Right, right,
around.
But
You know what I mean?
these are the lesser characters though. These are the people who don't get
right.
any shine. I haven't watched it. I'm not gonna watch any of it until
All episodes
Loki
are
is
available.
done. Yeah, then I'm
Oh
gonna
yeah.
jump on all of them because I can't watch stuff in real time. That's for peasants. All right, I'm sorry. Like, who's doing that? Well, I thought that was the whole point. Like these are supposed to be more grounded in. It's supposed to ground Marvel back to being more realistic, and then the movies are where they get to these uh, gods with like the lowercase g out here fighting space monsters. I
Hmm,
love
hmm.
both.
Yeah, that's what I feel. I mean, I feel like they're trying to get more. 'Cause in the Marvel movies, you don't really. I don't think you get to know Falcon too much. Same with the Winter Soldier. I mean, you know about Winter Soldier and Captain America's background together, and um, but also like their relation, because they're not, as far as I remember, I don't remember them really working together too much in the movies or being much associated to each other, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Maybe they kind of had a couple scenes here and there, but I don't
So
remember them like actually
so
like,
remember there was a so remember is one of those things where when you had Winter Soldier, that's where he was first introduced, right? And that's
yeah,
I guess where Falcon came in too, right?
yeah, I
Yeah,
think,
because
Yep.
he was working at the
Mhm.
VA. Yeah.
yeah,
No
yeah.
spoilers there. That movie's been out for years. So if you don't have
Right,
if
right.
you don't know
If
that
you,
one,
yeah, if you haven't seen it yet, then
yeah,
you're behind
yeah.
a curve right there.
Down the curve for sure. But I mean, it was one of those things where it was really Falcon was with Steve most of the time. Like even after Civil War, like that's the
Right.
faction that he went to. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
um, I,
Yeah.
I believe that ample time was spent on that, and I don't mind that they go into the backgrounds, like you said with the first episode, right? Like you didn't care about the family stuff when he went back to his hometown and all that. I was like, okay, that's kind of cool, right? Because it's one of those things where I think it's going to play into it later. You know what I mean? I think it's going to come up again and be like, oh, there's a callback to when he went back home and this, that, and the third. But I don't know. The second one, I was like, not so much. Like, show me. So when I was seeing all these movies, I went to the theater and paid for tickets, right? So like for
Right.
me and my family, I need to see some of that money going to use right now. I pay for Disney Plus every month,
They still got
right?
leftover movie
Look,
money
Right.
I pay for
for the
Disney
shows.
Plus every month. You need to put some more action in there, right? I need to see
Right.
Marvel Studios put a little bit more into it, but nah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's still a good series. I'm still gonna watch it. Don't get me wrong. It
Yeah.
hasn't
Yeah.
hasn't turned me off. You know what I mean? But yeah, I just feel opposite than you did, man. It's okay.
Yeah.
I
That's
got
interesting though. That's because yeah, I just like the because I don't want to reveal anything, but just the Winter Soldier and the Falcon and Winter Soldier, and then the other two guys are in the truck and their kind of interaction and kind of hostility and that kind of thing. I thought it was kind of um, I thought it was just kind of I don't know. I just like that a little bit more than some of the stuff that was going on in the first episode. It felt like it was a little slow to me, but um, and then like in the first episode when the Winter Soldier, no, the Falcon and his buddy, his like military buddy that was in the other country doing stuff. I feel like that scene was so like weird to me, or like it just seemed like almost like a fake scene. Like why would he go through all that? Like he's trying to take care of everything by himself. He's just like a regular like lieutenant or something. Like I'm
right.
gonna go, save the day over here and just capture this guy myself. I don't know. It just seemed kind of hokey, but I feel like the second episode was a little bit more believable to me. Some kind of the interactions and some of the hostility there, here and there. But nonetheless, I like just like you. I'm gonna keep watching it. I think I've been enjoying it so far, and until like it really turns me off, I'll keep watching it.
Yeah.
And now I wish that Ryan actually had watched it. See, now this is what happens when you don't
Yeah, I kind of, I
watch it
kind of, I kind of wish
week
I
to
watched it
week.
too to talk about it in real time. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
you at
man,
least know what we're talking about.
I just hate it, man, because it's that cycle. It's like I'm going to show you something cool, cliffhanger. I'm going to show you something
Yeah,
cool, cliffhanger. You're just trying to get me all the way to 8 weeks in, and I
right.
get it. But I'm like, man, just give me three at a time.
But you got like
Something. Give me two at a time. I don't care. Just give me more than one. Just
yeah, yeah.
I can't stand it.
You're too used to Netflix now, and Netflix kind
Yeah,
of
Netflix has spoiled me. That's true.
spoiled you there. You
Just
can't
like
you can't.
Shannon, it spoiled like Marvel spoiled Shannon. Like these are regular people, right? They can't fight Thanos. They're just
No,
gonna get into some brawls.
no,
Like
no.
the scale is too high now. Like it'll
Right.
never. Can you imagine Falcon like punching somebody important in the face? It's not gonna happen. Rip his
I,
arms off.
I am not exactly. I am not going to sit here and believe that they're regular people. Sam Wilson is a regular guy, right? That knows how to fly with a jetpack with wings on it, right? How many
Right.
times have I seen him hit the top of the helicarrier? Like his wing gets ripped off, he hits the top of the helicarrier. Like he didn't die. He didn't at least get a concussion. Like
Yeah, it's true.
walking around
That's
crazy. You
true.
know what I mean?
But the-
And you can say the same thing about Iron Man. Think about how many times Iron Man's been hit. Like, okay, the suit may protect your body physically,
but
your
it
brain is
can't though.
different.
That's the part that blows me every time. Like he should be liquid in his suit every time he runs into something.
Yeah, yeah.
But I suspend disbelief because I still love it.
Exactly.
Right.
So if I
It
can
just
suspend
got fake.
if I can suspend disbelief for that, then you're gonna give me more action. Like you're just gonna
Like
Right.
when Rhodey, like something happened and Rhodey just put the suit on and flew off.
yeah,
Like you a colonel, okay, I get that. But,
Yeah.
but like no, you have clearance to just take off.
no doubt.
Bring
No
the
doubt.
suit back, come to jail.
Come to jail. Put yourself in jail.
And and here's the thing, you're gonna tell me Jarvis couldn't have shut it down? Jarvis could have
Oh
just
yeah.
shut it down and brought it back.
His legs would just been stuck.
He would have just brought it back. There's no way he's going off with that. You know what I mean?
That's very true. That's hilarious. But yeah, I'm waiting. I gotta wait because the one I really want to see, like I did want to see WandaVision, but it got spoiled for me, so I can wait. This one, I don't know. I'm a fan of Anthony Mackie, but it's just like in my head, I'm just like, it's regular people. So I'll get to it when I get to it. It's like watching Agents of Shield.
This ain't
It's
She
like,
Hate Me.
I get to it. Huh?
If you're a fan of Anthony Mackie, this ain't She Hate Me. It ain't that.
I got you.
Have you seen She Hate Me? Have you seen She Hate Me?
Oh man, I can't remember. I remember it now. I remember the end scene where he had all the kids came and showed up.
Yes, yes.
Oh, that
This
movie
ain't
was
that. It was
it was
crazy.
a thing. It was a thing.
Mm.
With the turkey baster, I remember that.
Yeah, parents, don't let your children watch that.
Yeah, don't watch that movie. Don't watch that movie.
Mm.
But I'm really interested in Loki only because of the whole sci-fi aspect of it. And Owen Wilson is hilariously a bad actor. So you know he's in it. He's going to be in the Loki show.
I didn't know that. No.
Yeah, I don't know much
Yeah,
about that.
he's a
show.
main character.
That makes
He's a main character.
That makes
And
sense.
I think it'll work though. For what I think the character is supposed to be, he might be perfect for that character. when they drew that character in the comics, they were like, Owen Wilson will be this character one day.
Right.
I mean, good on him that he's made a career out of this, right? But I don't think he could do. Hopefully, Tom Hiddleston can carry him because he cannot do anything
Yeah.
right. Like that's my thinking.
I think he can though. That's the crazy part. I think he could carry a whole show by himself. He's a really good actor. So I think
Owen Wilson?
No.
Tom Hiddleston. Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I do that. Yeah.
I think he actually could. Like that's the only reason I want to watch it. That and the whole sci-fi part of it. So I'm pretty pumped about that. But that's not till after this one's over, right? So when this one is over, I think they get to Loki. It might be a break or something in between because they still got movies to drop that have been delayed a year and a half. So I'm sure these shows feed
Black
into those
Widow,
movies, yeah, at some point. So they still got to do that.
Got to keep the timeline intact.
Yeah. So I think some things had to be pushed to make the timeline make sense. But it's not. I'm not Kevin Feige, like the mastermind behind all this stuff.
You're gonna hate on Black Widow because it's not a god. Is that gonna be another one?
So I'm not, but I'm not expecting her to. I'm not expecting her to fight anybody that's not human.
Nobody's
you know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay.
But there's plenty of human characters. I think I think they did it backwards. Like I respect the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe. I love it. It's a dream come true. I think they got to Thanos too quick, only because now, like with Black Widow, she's overshadowed because she's a badass secret agent, and there's some badass characters she fought in the comics. But everybody's looking for galactic like battle now, so it's kind of hard to reroute Marvel back to being realistic sometimes. So I think they're working on that. But what's your question?
What do you mean they got to Thanos too quick? Because like if you go back to
they got to
Iron Man 2008.
Yeah, I think so before they did all of these regular stories. So I think a lot of these shows, I'm sure it wasn't possible because no one knew what MCU was or was going to possibly be to get to these shows. But now going back to them, like you can do a WandaVision because she's still, she's able to fight at that scale. You could do a Captain America if they resurrected him somehow. You can do a Loki because that's you're still dealing with magic and science and space and time. But then when you get back to a Romanoff or you get back to a Falcon, it's kind of harder because it has to scale. Like the people they're fighting have to be more powerful than they are, but not Titan powerful. Like because you saw they weren't fighting on the moon or wherever. Like they stayed their ass at home. Like that was the safest place for them. In fact, they made Falcon, like they turned him to ash. They're like, yeah, you can't fight in this one. Some characters we need to get rid of real quick. So he had to go away. Like it's just not competition. Like they're badass human beings. So I think that's the distinction between the two. So it's gonna be kind of hard to scale back. So people are going to complain about Black Widow. Even though it's probably going to be a good movie, they're still going to complain though, because she's not going to be fighting anybody who was able to snap people out of existence. Just not going to happen.
I see where you're coming from for sure. It's going to be like, just
a badass spy movie. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they
It's
can
like
still make like
she's doing some extra humanly things. You know what I mean? I can see her probably bungee jumping out of a helicopter into another helicopter or something like that. But she's not Captain Marvel. You know what I mean? She's not gonna find you in space and save you. It's not gonna happen. She just can't. It's not the like the comics scale differently. Like these
Mhm.
people stayed on the ground. That's why when if they ever fold in what's it, Jessica Jones and all the Netflix shows, like they're slightly more powerful than regular human beings, but even they weren't going to be fighting Thanos. Like when they go back and talk about where they were at, they're going to be somewhere in Hell's Kitchen fighting regular ass people. It's just the way it is,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
But here's what you have to think about with Black Widow though. This is I don't want to call it a prequel, but I mean, okay, we've Endgame's been out long enough, right? Spoiler alert: she doesn't make it through the movie, right?
Right.
So they're gonna have to go back, and it could be her with. I mean, it could be Shield times, right? Before the discovery of Hydra being intertwined,
Right.
right? So like, there may be help for her to make those types of battles happen, right? Or to make those types of things happen. Because remember, Thanos was away for a little while, and he was sending everybody else to do his dirty work, whether it be
Right.
Loki or what's the guy from Guardians of the Galaxy? Not Roman. What was his name? The purple guy. Uh,
Um,
had the Power Stone. I can't remember his name right now. I want to say Ronan. It wasn't Ronan. Was it
no,
Ronan?
Ronan was, yeah, Ronan was, he was blue, but yeah, he had the
Yeah,
Power Stone
yeah.
was
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
purple.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, it could be one of those things where it's like they came across them at some point because again, this is before the whole Thanos thing. So Thanos was sending people out, to try to accomplish his mission, and it could still happen. But I understand the logic in what you're saying, but with so much tied in, like Marvel Studios has access to so much more than what they're actually keying in on for these episodes. You know what I mean? To where they can pull other people in because it's their property. They can make it happen. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, true. Like, so we'll see. Like, I'm gonna watch it regardless, though. Like, I'm
Yeah.
fascinated by the character and whatnot. But I can see people like, oh, it's not as grandiose as X, Y, and Z. But we'll see. Because I'm trying to think, like, when they did Civil War, who did they pit those people up against? Like, it was their equivalents, right? On the other side, like, you didn't see like Captain Marvel
Against,
didn't
against
punch Falcon in the face.
are you talking about Infinity War or Civil War?
What's
Infinity War.
when they were running across the airport flight line at each
That,
other?
that's Civil War, but it was against each other, right? And you're
Right,
saying,
right. But they were fighting against their equivalents, though. Like, you didn't see anybody out of pocket. Like, you didn't see
oh yeah,
like,
like Hawkeye was fighting Black Widow, and
yeah, yeah, like if even Tony in the suit still not a human being in the suit, right? Like, so if he was in the suit, he wouldn't have punched Black Widow in the face because he would have turned her into paste.
no, I get what you're saying. I get what
I
you're
think
saying.
Spider-Man was fighting he's fighting Falcon and
Yeah, and he still cap shield and whatnot. But
Yeah.
yeah.
so, but I don't know. We'll
Yeah.
see. We'll see. Oh yeah. Either way, I think it'll be good for me.
'Cause I think it's only like honestly, there's only like a few of them that I really like you said, Captain Marvel and like uh maybe like Doctor Strange and like the Scarlet Witch and um
The whole A team,
yeah,
like,
those are like the main
yeah,
people that are like, above like a high tier compared to
yeah.
like, even like the Black Panther or somebody like, even Captain America, he's just like really strong. And then uh yeah, even
They
Spider-Man.
kept scaling him up though. Like, remember in the first one, he's riding a motorcycle really fast, and by the end of
Yeah,
it, he's like literally jumping on helicopters and ripping them apart.
right.
like, well, we had to ramp him up a little bit.
Yeah, right, right. Yeah. But I hear where you're coming from.
Yeah.
On a side note, did you do your homework, Ryan, that I signed you last week?
uh, which one was that?
The homework was for you to watch Justice League Dark
No,
Apocalypse.
no. What
How?
happened was I got the VPN to watch
Oh boy.
what's it called it. I finally used my HBO Max account over here because they don't have it here yet. So I use that for Snyder Cut, and then I remembered like, oh, I can get the Crunchyroll now, and I marathon all of the final season of almost all. Like, I'm caught up on Attack on Titan. It was glorious. It
Wow.
was so worth it. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna do the
Wow.
Justice League thing, but I had to because I thought that this Sunday was the final, like the last episode of Attack on Titan ever.
Oh no, I
And
don't
I
think
don't think it is. It's
it's
like
like
the
maybe halfway
mid-season.
through. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the mid-season finale. So I marathon that whole thing this week to get to this. And I was like, there's no way they can wrap up everything in this last episode, but it's getting good. And
Yeah,
then
it's
somebody
getting
told me,
good.
they were like, yeah, it's the mid-season break. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
like I said, I didn't have to rush.
Yeah, yeah, I'm enjoying that as well. I was already caught up on that one, but I forgot to mention that during my little speaking part earlier. But definitely been enjoying that Attack on Titan. That's the hot one right now.
Yeah, yeah, it's good stuff. Like no regrets marathoning through it. Aside from that, though, I also watched Invincible before the show. So I watched all three of the episodes that are out. Which I'm kind of mad. They should just dropped all of them, but
Why are you doing that to yourself, man? You're supposed to wait till the whole thing's released,
oh
and it's like
man,
the whole like all 8 seasons have been released, and you can watch it all in one swoop.
I jumped in there thinking that they all dropped, and I saw there was three, and I was like, it's better than just one. So I just marathoned
Okay,
it.
you
and
coming to the dark side. You can start watching things 1 week at a time pretty
I'm
soon.
hoping they drop.
Just like
I hope they drop more than one next week, but it's probably gonna be one. It was the
yeah,
three to get me in the door, and then it's gonna be one a week until they're done.
right.
Like, oh,
Yeah,
you're doing
that's
me
how they get
dirty.
you.
But it is amazing so far. It's exactly what I expect out of a Robert Kirkman cartoon. Like 40 minutes of like, oh, okay, it's kind of wholesome, and then it's over. He rips the band-aid off. It gets super dark. And you're just like, oh, this is terrible. I love it.
Yeah, I'm gonna check that one out. Got that.
It's really good though. Yeah, it's really good. Like it's got a lot of adult humor in it. It made me laugh.
Yeah.
Uh, and then aside from that, this morning, I guess for you guys, be afternoon for me, I watched Tenet, and I'm glad I saw it, but I wasn't fun. I,
I heard that. Yeah, a lot of people didn't
it
like it.
wasn't. It wasn't. I had no point during the movie could I turn my brain off. It's like, have you ever watched a movie on a plane or on the couch to fall asleep, and then you wake up because it gets loud, and you have no idea how they got to where they got? You're just
Oh yeah,
like baffled, and you're just like
right.
in my mind, point A and point B don't connect. That's how I felt while watching it.
Mm,
Like, like I'm sure it sequentially. I like every time movie has paradoxes. You just can't avoid them. But I think both forwards and backwards, if you watch this movie, I bet you it all syncs up perfectly. But it was not fun. It was like it was like being in science class, and I had to stand up in the back of the room and not fall asleep. Like stuff is exploding, but you can't get lost in the action
yeah.
because everything means something. You just never get to relax. Like you
Mhm.
see something happen, you're like, oh, that was weird. And then because you weren't really paying attention to it, later on they bring it back up, and you're just like, ah, I should have paid more attention.
Right, right. If I was paying attention, I would have known what's going on here.
Yeah, man, it's
It's one of those
two
trippy type
hours of
movies.
that, like
Huh?
2.5 hours of that. And
Yeah.
John David Washington does a great job. All the actors are really good. You got Patterson, the new Batman slash Twilight guy. He does a
Mm,
good job, but I just didn't have fun. Like I I like to have fun in sci-fi movies. Like
hmm.
this one was going for I assume accuracy.
Right.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. Christopher Nolan, like you got to know going in, he's about to do that to you, right? Like Christopher Nolan did Inception, right? If I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
but even that
Like,
was fun
but
until
you,
the last act.
but that's the thing, right? It's like you have to be prepared for that. You're like, okay, I know the
It can be
world
trippy.
is possible. Exactly, the world's
Yeah.
possibly going to fold up on itself. There'll be a
Right.
time jump of this will be 80 years, or you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
when you know someone has a certain style, you know what I mean? Like you got to go with that. And he did do the Batman movies too, right? Or Dark Knight movies, right? That
yeah,
was
he did
Christopher
Dark
Nolan.
Knight.
So I
Mhm.
mean, those weren't so much in that direction, right? Like that material is kind of written for you,
Did he
right?
do Man of Steel? Did he do Superman? Was that
No,
Nolan's like?
that was Snyder.
That was Snyder. Okay.
Snyder, yeah, that was Snyder. So yeah, I mean, you kind of know what you're getting into. You
But
gotta,
I want you to see it. I want you to dedicate the time to it. Let's just make sure I'm not crazy because it felt like it's hard to explain. Like literally, my brain was tired when I was done with it. Not because uh, they explain what's happening. They explain the concepts. Like there's a point where she's trying to explain to him what's going to happen when he crosses over, and uh, non-essential character does a really good job, and then they show it in action. You're like, oh, that's really cool. but you also have to like, I can't just focus on the cool stuff because the story they're trying to tell me is both happening in currently and in the past at the same exact time.
Right.
Like there's a fight where it's like we already know what happened. Like they say this, and I'm not spoiling anything. I don't think like we know. Like they explain what's happening in the briefing. Say we have the benefit of having intel from an hour ago because we've already done this. And you're just like, that is cool. I can't wait to see it. And then you see it, and you're just like, I feel like an analyst where I have to sit down and write down notes as things are happening because they're happening at the same time.
Oh, damn.
So you're like, they have like armbands let you know like this is team one, this is team two, and you're still like, I can't blink because I'm gonna miss something.
Right.
So Deja Vu with Denzel Washington was kind of like that, right? Like, what did you think about Deja Vu?
That was fun. This is not fun. This is exercise. This is mental gymnastics while you watch this movie. The first time, maybe if I watch it again, which I'm not going to do anytime soon, it'll be more fun. But like, what's the one with what's his face? Bruce Willis, Looper, I want to say, where people are being teleported back in time. He assassinates them.
Yeah.
That was fun. They explain what's happening, but you still have fun. This is like literally like I'm going to teach you how time works.
Well, they were going to the future. Well, they were going to the future, right? They were putting them to the future, I thought. Because
the other way.
Itself.
Yeah, you off yourself when your contract is done. So he sends you to the past.
But it was the older Bruce Willis that I thought.
Yeah, because he was wearing plates when he came back. We ruined a movie that nobody saw, but that's okay. Well, yeah, remember he pulled the bag off and he saw it was him, and then he was startled, but he was like, I gotta do what I gotta do. And he went to shoot him, but he had the plates on because they had sent him from the future.
I gotta watch it again then. I thought it was the other way around where the future one, the older one, was assassinating people. You're saying the older one's the one that came back.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And his younger self tried to kill him and couldn't.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha.
But that was fun. Like not only did they do time travel, but they also did telekinesis in that one. This one is all time. It's like watching. It's like if you put a Bond movie on top of Inception, on top of an hour-long TED talk on how time works. And you married those things together with really good actors who you can't hear, which I'm not sure if it was my theater or if the sound mix is off because the music is that a complaint
about the movie? Is that
I was like, what are they saying?
The music is overpowering the dialogue in a lot of it. I had read that before, and
okay. I thought I was going crazy because it took me a while for my ears to adjust. I was like, is it me?
So here's the thing. I'm somewhat hard of hearing anyway, being a jet engine mechanic, but I'm somewhat hard of hearing, so I do closed captions for everything. So like,
right,
this is gonna suck.
I couldn't do it. Yeah,
but this is gonna suck for me because you're like, you need to be paying attention to what's going on. Like I'm a fast reader, like I can read it fast, and I think I can do it and look up right and catch what it is. But from what you're telling me, I'm gonna miss something. Like if I'm reading, I may miss something that's going on up here that I may need to see. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Yeah. But it could have been me. It could have been me. But like I said, I like the other characters. I like the concept. Like I loved it. It was like playing. It was like watching a movie based on the Remedy game. I forget the name of it. It's a Remedy game where it plays with time. It has Littlefinger's one of the bad guys in the game. You know what I'm talking about, Levon? It's a Game Pass game now. Quantum Break, I want to say.
Oh yeah.
You know the concept when he walks in the room and he walks around, he comes back.
Yeah.
It's that, but a movie. And the game was fun, and this was not for me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Quantum Break. Yeah, Quantum Break. Yeah, you get it.
I'm like, oh man, this concept is so cool.
Yeah.
And then, it wasn't simple either. Like I didn't like. There was only one subplot point where I figured it out like 30 seconds before it happened. So I felt like, oh man, I'm a genius because this movie is so hard.
Right. I figured it out.
I digress. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not trying to spoil you on it. But if y'all want to watch it, by all means,
I'm gonna check it out.
It was cool.
And I was hoping that the movie would be like a blockbuster hit. given that as a as a brother that's the lead character in the movie and everything like that, it's like, oh, I want this to be like the greatest movie ever. But now you just ruined it for me. I don't even want to watch it anymore. I'm just gonna
I think
boycott
if
it. No.
he was the most like his dad in any movie I've seen so far. Like it
Yeah.
felt like it felt like a little Denzel in there, and I like it. I thought it was cool, but he would have been his father if he was in the movie Man on Fire, if you remember that one.
Mm.
It was very reminiscent of that to me. But it just, the material was just not fun to me. It had all these cool actors in it, and all the, like, there's the budget on all of the pyrotechnics, and I didn't see too much CGI, where I could noticeably see, like, okay, they had to make that up. And like most of it looked practical, like they're really blowing stuff up. At one point, they blew something up in both timelines, and that should have been enough to satiate me. But I had to understand why they did it. It was like, this is tiring. It's like I ran a marathon.
Wow.
So there you go. That's my review of
gonna say.
10. Because I don't think it would have, like, it didn't do well because of COVID. I don't think it would have did well, period.
You
I
think
think it would have.
word of mouth still would have spoiled it to where it wouldn't have been
Yeah, I think so.
profitable? I guess I don't know.
Yeah, I think it would have came home sooner, in a non-COVID environment. Again, not due to anybody's fault, but like, I go to movies to for this type of stuff, and even I was like, this is too much. This is,
Right.
like, I asked for it, but you overdid it for me.
Took it overboard.
Yeah,
Okay.
there you go.
Okay. Okay. I might check it out still. Let me see what I think of it.
Yeah, let me know. Let me know. It could be me. Like, man, you're just not smart. I'm like, you know what? I'm not smart. You are correct. Um, but aside from that, because we've definitely exceeded our time for the day. I don't know if you guys want to throw something else quick in there. We have a bunch of other stuff to talk about, but
Oh no.
I think we got it in. So
Yeah, we got good discussion today. Good points.
yeah,
sure.
but thank you to my co-host. Thank you to the Patreon patrons. You got your money's worth out of this episode alone. For all of you who want to join the Patreon, you'll get this 7 days earlier, completely ad-free. For all those listened to on free feeds, please like, share, subscribe, click that bell so you can see when new content comes out. It should be, this week will be a Monday through Friday schedule. You can hit us up on socials at www.theothersideofthefirewall.com, where you get to all of our different platforms that we're on. And then you can personally hit me up on LinkedIn, Twitter, Clubhouse, or TikTok at RY Security Guy. That's RY Security Guy. And Levon?
Hit me up at Levon Maynard on the Twitters.
There it is. So appreciate y'all. Y'all be easy.
Hey, take care.